divided by lot. Give and take and sanctify thy soul. Give and take and sanctify your spirit. For there is no seeking of dainties in the grave. He's like, you better do what you can do while you're alive. You ain't gonna get nothing in the grave. He's telling you this. Just like we just read about Ananias. This ain't prepared. But we just read about how the Most High killed Ananias and Sapphira. Oh, but they can't touch you. He can't touch you though, right? You beyond the Most High touching you, right? Better think again, people. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Go to Ecclesiastes 9. And we're going to look at verse 10. Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 10. Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. It says, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do it with thy might. But there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest. The Most High ain't playing, y'all. That's why while we on this earth, we better be doing the best we can do so our names be written in the book of life and not forgotten. 2 Corinthians 11 and 9. 2 Corinthians 11 and 9. Second Corinthians 11 and 9. And when I was present with you, I want you and wanted. And when I was present with you, he said, I needed something, I wanted something, I was chargeable to no man. For that which was lacking to me, the brethren which came from Macedonia supplied. He said, hey, look, Corinthians. He said, look, and when I was present with you, I was in your face. And wanted. See, I was chargeable to no man. No man could say, they did this, I had to do this. He said, listen. Because he had friends. He said, for that which was lacking to me, the brethren which came from Macedonia supplied. And in all things I have kept myself from being burdensome unto you. And so will I keep myself. He said, hey, I kept myself from being burdensome to you. And saying, so will I keep myself. He said, yeah, he was taken care of through other means. Brothers came from Macedonia to take care of whatever he needed. That's what I say. Yeah, the spirit of the essence. And that's how we should all want to be. As you see, they sold lands and houses and laid the money at the apostles' feet, and distribution was made as there was a need. Because some brother might have 7 children. Some brother might just be by himself. How you can't get the same amount that this brother that have 7 children need, and you just by yourself. You see, that don't balance out. That's why, I know case scenarios where people they'd have paid their tithes all these years into this church, to the church, and they only needed $200. They had to go through all kind of red tape, just from their mouth, just to get $200. They didn't put thousands into the church. First time they needed something from the church, they had to go through all kind of red tape just to get $200. You know about that guy that went into the church and he shot the preacher while they was having service. That was about $40. He wanted to give him $40. And he killed him. Went in there and killed him and went and had a cup of coffee. Yeah, that's real. So you gotta be careful. It's getting, the mercy and grace is lifting up. See people going to children going to schools, killing people. Oh yeah, this ain't no joke. The Most High kill. You gonna put that spirit in, go in there and deal with this. Everybody's days are numbered. How you gonna go out, you don't know, but the Most High know. You give him glory for everything. But you see, what we have seen so far. Ecclesiasticus, the 17th chapter. And we're going to read verse 22. Ecclesiasticus 17 and 22. The alms of a man is as a signet with him. The alms is this giving, donations. And he will keep the good deeds of man as the apple of the eye. That's a good deed. And give repentance to his sons and daughters. See, he's going to give repentance to his sons and daughters. Your sons and daughters going to be forgiven for their sins for the man that gives alms. It said, afterward, he will rise up and reward them and render their recompense upon their heads. See? A reward to them, to your children. Go to Matthew the 6th chapter and the first verse. Matthew 6 and 1. See, reward your children for the good deeds that you're doing. Matthew 6 and 1. Take heed that you do not your alms before men. Don't try and be impressive before men to be seen of them. Otherwise ye have your no reward of your Father which is in heaven. So you're supposed to be doing things to be seen of men. Look what I did. I did this, I did that. No. Say you won't have no reward from the Most High, which is in heaven. Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound the trumpet. Don't be talking about I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, I did that. A lot of people like to do that. They like to brag on what they've done. Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, you helping somebody, you doing something for someone, do not sound the trumpet before thee. That's your big mouth. Open up your big mouth for sin. As the hypocrites do in the synagogues, see? As the hypocrites do, who's that? Pharisees and scribes. They do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men, that men may glorify them. See, you give all glory to the Most High. I don't care what you do. Whatever you're doing, all glory to the Most High. Get used to saying it. Praise the Most High. I don't care what you do. Glory of man, okay, the bottom, but all glory to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. He gets the glory. Because without him, you can do nothing. Remember, he said he bless you through your labors or whatever you're doing to be able to do whatever you do. He bless you to see a day without death. So we got to say hallelujah to the Most High. Angels before him praising him 24/7. Continually, non-stop. This name is jealous. Are you doing something on your own? No. All praise to the Most High. So that's why I say, you don't sound a trumpet before thee, speaking loud, look what I did, no. That's what the Pharisees do. As the hypocrites do in the synagogue. You know what he's talking about. And in the streets, who's that? The scribes and the Pharisees. We went over that. Say, woe to you, Pharisees and scribes. That they may have glory of men, that men may look up to them. Verily, truly, I say to you, they have their reward. That's their reward. Do whatever man gonna say, the uplifter. That's why I say, hey, you ain't got no reward from the Most High. Come on. Verse 3, but when thou doest thine alms, when thou doest alms, Let not thy right hand know what thy right hand doeth. Don't say, you ain't got to say that to nobody. That thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father, which seeth in secret himself, because his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the secrets of men, shall reward thee openly. He gonna reward you openly, where everybody gonna see your blessing. Thus said the Most High, he's not a man that he should lie. Remember that. 1 John 3, 17 and 18. 1 John 3, 17 and 18. See, we have guidelines to go by, and it's all throughout the word. You see, I'm jumping from everywhere, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. 1 John 3:17. But whoso have this world's good, you have this world, what's this world's good? Ain't no plants and ain't no animals. It ain't no livestock that you bargaining, going to the store and buying things. It say, but whoso has this world's good and see if his brother have need, you see your brother have a need, and shut up his bowels of compassion from him, you ain't gonna try to help your brother that you know have a need. How dwelleth the love of the Most High in you? How dwelleth the love of the Most High in you? Listen, my little children, let us not love in word, talking a lot, and talking out the side of your neck, neither in tongue, got a whole lot to say, but in deed and in truth, but in deed and following the commandments of the Most High. And be as the Mashiach Yahushua and the apostles and the prophets were. They're an example, they're our admonition to know how to be. You see what they did. They were there for each other. That's the Essenes. That ain't the Zealots. And you see John, the apostles, they were Essenes. This is how they rolled. Nobody lacked. See, nobody's supposed to be having a problem with this, that, and the third. But see, we've been so messed up through the curses, so you can use that as an excuse. Ain't no excuse now that you see what we did. Come out of that. We're not talking about much. People spending money on this, that, and the third, making sure you get your little comfort zone things that you need for your comfort zone, but when it comes down to the truth, you ain't giving nothing. And some of you are, myself personally, I really appreciate whatever it is that you're doing, have your name written in the book, knowing that you've done it. Like he said, he's going to bless you sevenfold. Trust me, I see it. But if you don't believe it, you don't have faith, then, hey, you call the Most High a liar. And the truth ain't in you. But he said it. You just got to have strong faith to believe it, and you'll see it. Anytime you see people go to church and they believe it, and they call themselves Gentiles, they say, no, we ain't no Jews. The Jews killed Christ. As they use, that's the only name they can use, because that's all they know. And they believe in this so-called white man, Caesar Borgia. Even if they say he's black, they still a Gentile, they ain't an Israelite. And most of us say he only know Israel, the Israelites. The name is 3, 1, and 2. You only have known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity. And they believe it. And here we are, Israelites, don't believe it. You don't believe in the Most High. Like I say, you go to the Most High on His word. That's what our forefathers did. Very important. It's your actions, man. You believe, and your actions gonna prove that you believe. Trust me. And it works. It works. Don't play the Most High, sure. Let's go into the book of Tobit. 1, the first chapter. Go to Tobit, the first chapter. And we're going to start at verse 1. Tobit, the first chapter. Let's look at verse 3. Tobit have walked all the days of my life. Excuse me, I, Tobit, have walked all the days of my life in the way of truth and justice. And I did many alms deeds to my brethren. See? I mean, he gave money and different deeds to his brethren. And my nation, who came with me to Nineveh, and to the land of the Assyrians. Jump down to verse 6, we're going to read to verse 8. But I alone went often to Jerusalem at the feast, as it was ordained unto all the people of Israel by an everlasting decree, having the first fruits and tenths of increase, which are the tithes, with that which was first shown, and them gave I at the altar as the priests, the children of Aaron, the first tenth part of all the increase I gave to the sons of Aaron, which is the law, who ministered at Jerusalem. Another tenth part I sold away, and went and spent it every year at Jerusalem. So he went and spent another tenth part at Jerusalem. And the third I gave unto them to whom it was meet, it was right. As Deborah, my father's mother, had commanded me, because I was left an orphan by my father. You know? So this is what he did. 1/3, he gave tenths of increase to the priest. He said the first tenth part of all the increase I gave to the sons of Aaron, gave to the priest, who ministered at Jerusalem. Another tenth part I sold away, and went and spent it every year at Jerusalem. And the third, which is the tenth part, I gave unto them to whom it was meet, or it was right, that had a need. As Deborah, my father's mother, had commanded me, because I was left an orphan by my father. See? This is what he did. Look at verse 16. And in the time of intermissal, I gave many alms to my brethren, and gave my bread to the hungry. See? He said he gave many alms to his brethren, who are the Israelites, his brothers of Israel, and gave my bread, what we call money bread, to the hungry, the ones that had a need. See, this is all in concordance with what, like the Most High told. Go to Deuteronomy 16:16. That's supposed to be a lot of people that's not really going to receive this. But look what the Most High said. 3 times in a year, this is the law. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles. These are the feasts of the Most High. 3 times a year, he said. This is what he said. And they shall not appear before the Most High empty. He said, every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Most High, thy power, which he hath given thee. See? According to the blessing that the Most High has given him. So let's go back to Tobit. Since we're in the book of Tobit, go to the 2nd chapter, and we're going to start at verse 11. Tobit 2 and 11. And we read down to 14. It says, and my wife Anna did take women's work to do. So the women was working. All your women to think that a man supposed to take care of you, ain't supposed to do nothing but just sit at home, and a man go out and do what he's supposed to do. How can a woman be a help me if she don't have anything to supply, that's why that virtuous woman, you read that virtuous woman, she was busy. She was like the merchant ships, it says. But listen, and my wife Anna did take woman's works to do. And when she had sent them home to the owners, they paid her wages. See, she was working. They paid her wages. She got a wage from her work. And gave her also, besides a kid, baby goat. And when it was in my house and began to cry, this kid, this goat, I said unto her, from whence is this kid? Where does kid come from? Where does baby goat come from? Is it not stolen? Is it stolen? Render it to the owners. Give it back to the owners. For it is not lawful to eat anything that is stolen. So it ain't lawful to eat something that you stole. You a thief? It says, but she replied unto me, it was given for a gift more than the wages. I got my wages, and it was given to me on top of my wages that I was paid. Howbeit, I did not believe her. You lying to me, woman. But bade her render it to the owners. And I was abased at her. But she replied upon me, where are thine alms and thy righteous deeds? Behold, thou and all thy works are known. See? Say, hey, you do this. You give. And we done read about them giving. So all your works is known. Let's go to Tobit 4. The 4th chapter. Read verse 7. It says, give alms of thy substance. Give alms of thy substance. And when thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious. Don't do it grudgingly. Neither turn thy face from any poor. And the face of the Most High shall not be turned away from thee. See? Some people think you ain't supposed to be helping the poor. The face of the Most High, you thinking that gonna be turned away from you. That's wrong. That's the wrong thinking. Verse 8. If thou hast abundance, you have a lot, give alms accordingly. Give accordingly. Remember, say, Mashiach Shai says, it's better to give than receive. Say, if you have alms abundant, give alms accordingly. If thou have but a little, be not afraid to give according to thy little. See, you got but a little. Don't be afraid to give that little. I remember at one year I was asking people, okay, I had over, 3,000 friends on Facebook. Now I got so many, 5,000, that's a limit. So I asked everybody, I said, well, how many people can give $2, take care of the rent that was like, what, $1,570 a month plus the water and the light bill? Figure they give a couple of dollars, $2, $3. I mean, that's a little. You look at a lot of people can't even conceive that. You know how much money I got? $1.75. And I think that was the brother's tithes for his GR. You see? But hallelujah for that brother giving that. I saved that in his envelope. I met that brother. You know what that brother told me? He said, man, I gave that man, but he said, look, man, I got a car. He had a brand new car. He had not a brand new car, but he had a car, nice car and everything. Bless. Like most of that say he give you sevenfold, you don't believe it. He was just as happy as could be. He remembered that. You see? But then now he was poor. He didn't really have much. But he gave $1.75. I said, that's all I got. I remember that. And then people in the church started putting $2 in envelopes. We got to pay this high rent. That's our people, boy. That's finished, man. That was unbelievable. I told him the story like I told you. We got $1,570 to pay every month. And they started putting $2 in the envelope. And I told him what the same story. Look, this is all we got. I ain't got no reason to lie. Because we got to come up with the rest of the money to pay for the rent. $1.75. That's Israelites for you. But all of them ain't like that. All you not like that. I know where I come from. They fly across the country to get them tithes. They give you a pep talk to get that money out of you. Listen, it says, verse 8, if thou have abundance, you got a lot, give alms accordingly. You give a lot. If thou have but a little, be not afraid to give according to that little. You only got a few dollars, don't be afraid to give that little. For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity. You got to believe this, people. That little that you do, when there's a necessity, the Most High say you lay up a treasure for the day of necessity. When you have a need, He will provide for you. You just got to have faith to believe what it's saying here. See, a lot of you don't have faith to believe Him. That's why the things don't happen for you, because you don't do what He say do. You don't believe Him. Because that alms do deliver from death. He was talking about people dying and killing people, but he said alms do deliver from death. And suffer not to come into darkness, ignorance. For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High. Read it again. For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High. It's very important, you know. Look at Luke 14, Luke the 14th chapter, verse 13 and 14. Says everything is before the Most High. See, that's a good thing before the Most High. Luke 14 and 13 and 14. Luke 13 and 14. Let's look at verse 13, then 14. But when thou makest a feast, call the poor. Let me read verse 12. Then said he also to him that bade him. These are words of Mashiach of Shah. When thou makest a dinner or a supper, call not thy friends. Don't call your friends, nor thy brethren, neither thy kinsmen, nor thy rich neighbors, lest they also bid thee again, and the recompense be made thee. You know? You gotta, they want a recompense be made of you. Say, but when thou makest a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blessed. For they cannot recompense thee. They can't do anything to help you or bring a reward or a payback to you for what you've done. They feel that they gotta do the same thing. And thou shalt be blessed, he said, for they cannot recompense thee. Thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just. Most High gonna bless you, because that good work will be written in the books. Hopefully it'll be enough to be written in the book of life, where you can see everlasting life, people. That's what this is about. Or else you're wasting your time. Look at Tobit 4 and 8 again. Tobit 4 and 8. If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou have but little, a little, be not afraid to give according to that little. I'm looking at this little. You just have a little, you only got a couple of dollars, Well, I can't get that because that's embarrassing. The brother gave me $1.75. When I met that brother was happy as a lark. Blessing. I remember brother used to, was downtown Skid Row. Brother used all the time help. He all the time helped. Every time I went in there, he would help clean up, make sure everything was together. He always volunteered helping. Living on the street. He came back, showed me his keys to his apartment, said, man, I've got a job, got an apartment. I love y'all to the Most High. Blessings. He was a very faithful, humble brother. Now let's look at Mark, the 12th chapter. You got a little, give a little. Just saying. But see, that pride is a damnable thing. You're too prideful to believe in the Most High for what His Word says. Why you don't do it? You won't do it. Mark 12, and let's start at verse 41. And the Mashiach sat over against the treasury and beheld how the people cast money into the treasury. Now, is that plants and livestock? The people cast money into the treasury, and many that were rich cast in much. So they had a lot of money, so they put a lot into the treasury. But listen, and there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which made a farthing. And he called unto him his disciples, and said unto them, that's what he asked them, verily, verily, truly, I say unto you, that this poor widow has cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. Remember, they was rich, cast a lot of money into the treasury, but she cast 2 mites. And he said, verily, I say unto you, verse 43, that this poor widow have cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. Why? For all they did cast in of their abundance. They ain't losing nothing. They ain't cast all that they had in there. Everything they had, all their riches, they had enough riches, they can give a lot. For all they did cast in of their abundance. But she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living. Everything she had. That's all she had. So what's she going to do after that? See? That's a difference. A great difference. Luke 21 and 1. Luke 21 and 1. And he looked up and saw the rich men casting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also a certain poor widow casting in thither 2 mites. And he said, of a truth, I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast in more than they all. This poor widow has cast in more than they all. That's what I say, the Most High's ways and thoughts are not our ways and thoughts. Mashiach said, all right, my Father are one, they think the same way. For all these have of their abundance cast in unto the offerings of the Most High. The offerings of the Most High, which is the treasury. But she of her penury have cast in all the living that she had. See, she gave all that she had. That's why when you look at go to go to 1 Timothy, the 6th chapter, and verse 10. First Timothy, the 6th chapter, the 10th verse. It says, for the love of money, not money itself, but for the love of money. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they going after it continually, they have erred from the faith. They err from the faith. And pierced themselves through with many sorrows. See? Verse 17. Most I said, charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded. Don't be so prideful. Because the Most High allow you to have abundance and wealth in this world. That they be not high-minded. Don't be prideful. Thinking you all that, looking down on people that don't have as much as you do. Nor trust in uncertain riches. Hear that? But in the living power, in the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. The Most High is the one that make rich, and the Most High the one that make poor. That they do good. Hear that? That you do good, all you that got money out there. That they be rich in good works. Rich in good works. Ready to distribute to the children of Israel. The true children of the Most High. And not all these fake and phony pastors and that's going to have the people go to hell right with them. And you're going to be right along with them. That's what it says. Willing to communicate. You're supposed to be willing to communicate. Whether it's you or through somebody else. But you're supposed to distribute and be willing to communicate. And if you do this, like I said, laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come. Because the time to come is going to be destruction, woe, famine, bloodshed, death. You're going to release the angels on this earth. That's already here. Ready for the commandment of the Most High. You already see disasters. You think he can't touch you? Oh yeah, I think some of you celebrities know what I'm saying. Through fires, through hurricanes, tornadoes, tidal waves, you name it. It's from the Most High. That's what it says. Laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come. It's going to get worse and worse. You got to look at some of these movies that the elite know why they putting them out there. 2012, Independence Day, Deep Cover, and so forth. You better pay attention. Because it's going to be real. And when it hits you, what you going to do? It's going to be too late to cry to the Most High. He's going to laugh at you. He said he's going to mock you at that time. Because you think you your own power. Money is your power. He's saying, God, we trust. That's what you trust, your money. Where they put it at? On the dollar bill, baby. Put all that idolatry on it. When you believe in the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you better find a way to believe in him. Have faith in him. You always get up on stage and say, I want to thank God. Who are you talking about? That money? Is that what you're saying? In God we trust. Is that the God you're talking about? The money? That's why it says. Laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come. That foundation is a Mashiach Yahushua, this black man that walked the earth. But he ain't coming back as a man, it says in Isaiah 47:3. He coming in his angelic spiritual power. He hanging out with Micah, the archangel of war, to come back and judge and make war. He gonna be killing people. He said, all the sinners are my people. When you're an Israelite, whether you think you're a Gentile or not, you're going to die by the sword, it says. Amos 9 and 10, write that down. All you that have monies and don't want to give, don't want to communicate, it's for real, people. That's why he's giving you opportunity. Say, laying aside, laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come, that they may lay hold on eternal life. You don't do it, ain't no eternal life coming to you. You better understand. Remember when we read, the Most High is not a man he should lie. Have he said it? Shall he not bring it forth? Yeah. Laying up for you. Y'all think y'all give it to these churches? And they gonna bless you. You gonna be blessed with eternal life. They don't lie to you. You better recognize. That's why the Most High said this. Jeremiah 23:1. Woe means destruction. Be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. He screaming at you, said the Most High. Because you the sheep of the Most High's pasture, but you think you a Gentile. You've been told, nah, you ain't no Israelite. Don't listen to them Israelites. But he said, we ain't under the law. We're in the mercy and grace. The mercy and grace is only given to the children of Israel. Wisdom of Solomon 3:9 and Wisdom of Solomon 4:15 all day long. It ain't going nowhere. To the saints. All these books in the New Testament, what you believe in is to the saints who are the 12 tribes of Israel. That's Psalms 148:14 all day long. It ain't going nowhere. It's going to be there. You better recognize it's serious. That's why I say woe means destruction. Be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Most High. Therefore thus say the Most High power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Yeah, y'all preaching every first day of the week, which is the wrong day. The Most High said to honor him and give glory to his Sabbath day, which is the seventh day. Y'all out there celebrating Nimrod and Semiramis and their son Tammuz on the first day of the week. Therefore thus say the Most High power of Israel. Hear that? So you ain't an Israelite, he ain't your power. I don't know who y'all talking about. You want to think, I don't know who y'all talking about. He the power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock. That's why they're a bunch of scatterbrained infidels. It says, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away. Driven them away from what? The Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, having faith in the true Hamashiach Yahushua. This black man that walked the earth. Y'all up here got this same Caesar Borgia, they drew him in 1492, and you still got it up in your churches, in your houses, and so forth. Dishonoring the Most High. Dishonoring the Hamashiach Yahushua. But you sure gonna go to Malachi, and you sure gonna go to Haggai for them tithes, right? Get that money out of the people. And y'all foolish enough to look at them and believe what they said. The Most High said destruction to them. This is a warning. You've driven them away from this truth, from the laws and statutes, commandments of the Most High, and the true Hamashiach Yahushua that came to die for the sins of the children of Israel. Because we the only ones who's given the laws. Well, no Gentiles giving no laws. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt with any other nation. And as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. Psalms 147:19 and 20. Read this. It says, behold, I will visit upon you. This is what it says. I will visit upon you, pastors, the evil of your doings, said the Most High. See, you better recognize so let's go back to Tobit, the 12th chapter. Tobit, the 12th chapter, in the 8th verse. Tobit 12 and 8. Tobit 12 and 8. Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. See? Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. And righteousness is keeping the laws of the Most High. Deuteronomy 6:25. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. It says better to give alms than to harbor your money, put it all in the banks or somewhere. You don't give. A lot of y'all give to these charities, and you know they're not going to the people. A lot of you just give to charities so you can write it off on your taxes and so forth. So you're not really giving anything if you're getting it back. That's not giving. Y'all just running the game, the slick game. The rich getting richer and the poor getting poor. That's why he's saying what he's saying. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. For alms does deliver from death. You hear that? Alms gonna deliver you from death. He done said this a couple of times. Most of us speaking once, yea twice, man perceive it not. He said, hey, for alms does deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin. Those that exercise alms and righteousness shall be filled with life. But they that sin are enemies to their own life. You know? You don't want to do what he say do? He say you enemies to your own life. You an enemy to your own self. Most High, he have a sense of humor. Wow. From there, let's look at Tobit 14 and 1 and 2. So Tobit made an end of praising the Most High, and he was 50 years old, 58 years old when he lost his sight, which was restored to him after 8 years. He had to go 8 years of being blind. And he gave alms, and he increased in the fear of the Most High power and praised him. See? This is what he did. Proverbs 1 and 7. Proverbs 1 and 7. See, he gave alms, and he continued in the fear of the Most High. Fear means to be afraid, people. Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of the Most High, to fear the Most High, is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. See? But the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. Jump up to verse 22. Say, how long ye simple ones? Call you simple, bunch of simpletons. Will ye love simplicity? See, to go to church, that's simple. Because all you do is go there and you hear somebody preach or whatever they do, you hear the music and you go home and be wicked. But you go wherever you're going to go. After the church, eat your hog maws and chitlins and all the things that's abominable. The Most High say you're supposed to touch a dead pig carcass. Y'all know y'all having all that in the church, right up in the church. Lobster, you think you live in lives. Caviar and raw fish, uncooked. All the things that the nations could do, you trying to do. I mean, they could eat anything. You can't. He made us different. That's why you got all these different sicknesses that we have, and they got all these different medications that taps into our pigment and melanin that you have no clue about whatsoever. And we end up with all these different diseases because our immune system is so poor. This is what the Most High said, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. A lot of you fools, you can't deal with this knowledge. Well, you only got so long, then you go to sleep. Because you're a fool. You unlearned. You can't be learned. That's why you got to wake up out of darkness, ignorance. Let's jump down to verse 24. It says, because I have called, and you refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. The Most High's hand is the men that he sent forth in these last days to warn you and tell you what time it is. But ye have said at naught, said at nothing, all my counsel. So you hear what he said, and we're going to continue. But you hear his counsel. His counsel was his word, the words of his Bible. But ye have said at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. And try and check you to make sure that you understand. You won't go some other way, your own way. Follow your own way. I also will laugh at your calamity. Hear what he said? He said, when your calamity comes, because it's going to be war on this earth. It's coming. Sooner than what you can even imagine. And the calamity might be from a hurricane. It might be from fire. It might be from an earthquake, tornado, tidal wave. People say it can't be no tidal wave. Most likely could do whatever you want to do. 3/4 of the earth is nothing but sea. You gonna tell me the Most High can't do what he want to do? With that ocean, he made it. He made the sea. You mean to tell me he can't do what he want to do? Trust that man if you want to. Most High had that water cover everybody, but he said he ain't gonna drown us. And well, he gonna burn us up. He said he gonna burn people up for their wickedness. And you see what he did in California? Them houses was flatlined. There wasn't nothing left. Unbelievable. Like an atomic bomb done hit that place. It's terrible. Power of the Most High. He said he is consuming fire. You know what consuming fire means? Everything's consumed. Nothing left. My secretary, when he come back, he said when the Army, the Air Force, and the Navy, and the Marines go against him, of all these nations ain't gonna be nothing but dust and the smell of smoke. He gonna burn them all up. That's in 2nd Ezra 13, 9 to 10 and 11. Read it for yourself. So ain't gonna be nothing but dust and the smell of smoke. Oh, the Most High gonna get him a name. And gonna make sure that you understand his son, of Mashiach Yahushua, when he come judge and make war. Every knee gonna bow, and every tongue gonna confess that he is the power to the glory of the Most High. Our power. Power of who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hallelujah. To his holy name. You gonna recognize him then. Oh yeah. But you gonna recognize him before that. Listen what he said. He said, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. Since you don't want to fear him, you don't want to acknowledge him, you don't want to do what he said do. He said, hey, yeah, okay. He said, I also will laugh at your calamity. Because he done said what he said. We reading his words. He had holy men, as they were moved by the Holy Spirit, write these words in this book called the Bible. He said, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, can't get no clearer than this. And your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. The whirlwind is what? Tornadoes, hurricanes, fires too. Because fire, what? He make a fireball. The wind comes and makes fire. You better ask some firemen that have fought fires. They can control that. Go to the edge of the freeway. Then the wind come and make a big circle, giant circle, and make this big fireball and lift it up off the ground and send it a mile away to another neighborhood. You can't stop